Hello, people of the internet. This is mankxbox.
With me, Ben. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
And
Hello.
me, and
Hello.
I'm Alex.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
shut up.
Hello.
Right. So.
Hello.
Nah. So today we're.
God, it's been such a long time.
It has been a long time. I missed you guys. This is going to be the second one. It would have been the third one hadn't I deleted the. I made such a stupid mistake. I accidentally deleted the AMX 105 AM review folder. So yeah, so all that footage is gone. So if you haven't already watched my IS3, depending if I put this one up first before the IS3 one, I'm not too sure. I really have no idea. But if you haven't already watched my IS3 one, there'll be a link or an annotation or something somewhere on the screen popping up. But today, the main star of the show is the KV-1S. As you can see...
KV-1S.
VK1S, yes. Today, the main star of the show is the KV-1S. Everybody loves the KV-1S. I mean...
With its Doom gun.
Yes.
Doom gun.
And to be honest, the reason why everyone loves the KV-1S is...
Doom gun.
Yeah, as Ben keeps saying, because of this monster of a fucking thing here. It's so overpowered. I mean, you know...
It's the Doom gun.
122 millimeters. You know, some tier 6 heavy tanks wish they had that fucking gun. You know, wish they did that amount of penetration and damage all in one. I mean, if you take a look here, if I quickly go over to the Americans, the M6 only gets a weedy little 90mm gun that, you know, does nothing in comparison to the fucking KV-1S.
The Doom gun.
Churchill 7, again, he's only got a fucking 75mm gun. That's terrible. Germans at tier 6, they don't have any heavy tanks at tier 6, they're all medium tanks, so that kind of counts them out of the game. French, they definitely have tier 6 heavy tank, ARL-44. It has a 105mm cannon. I suppose that's alright, but that's the 13 TR, not the DCA-45, which is the tier 8 one, which I think does more penetration. Actually, yeah, it does more penetration but less damage because, you know, anything that has an absurd amount of fucking damage but not a lot of penetration is a fucking derp gun. It's a howitzer cannon, really. And the Chinese don't have any heavy tanks until they get, like, right near the end. Till about the IS-2 even. So, at tier 6, this is so overpowered. It's so fast, it's so well built. But it does have its disadvantages.
Well, it does go at, like, if you get the best engine, the best track, you know, you got 43 kilometers an hour. That's pretty fast for a heavy tank.
It's not one of those. It's not one of those tanks that say, well, you know, if you're going down a hill being pushed by something, it's going to reach that speed limit. It'll reach that speed limit on, you know, most terrain.
Not on a hill.
Not on a hill because, well, you're going upwards and, you know, fucking Newton's third law and what have you. But
no one cares. No one cares.
Yeah.
Stop now.
So yeah,
don't bore people to death.
It will go 43 kilometers an hour on sort of like, you know, roughish terrain, sort of flat ground like this, not over rocks because it's not, you know, it's a tank. It's not going to go freaking 100 million miles an hour on rough rocks, but nothing really does. Anyway, so let's go with the spec. So to begin with, you're going to have, without the upgraded turret, if I just quickly close that, without the upgraded turret, go here. You're only going to have, first of all, it's a much smaller target, so, you know, I suppose some people might play with this turret purely because...
You have less health, though. You've only got 720.
760.
760 health.
Yes, you only get 760 health. It's a smaller target, and I think it has a better traverse speed, if you have a look here.
It's not better armoured, though.
It's definitely not better armoured. I think they have better traverse speed. I mean, that was 28... and this one was... Oh, they both have the exact same amount of traverse speed, so it makes no difference. But the upgraded one definitely has more armor and, you know, gives you an extra, what, 50 hit points. So that definitely comes in...
50 hit points.
Yeah, that definitely comes as a bonus. You know, the weight of it is 43.97 tons. It's alright. I mean, if you look down here where the engine is, 600 horsepower pushing 43.97 tons... It will reach 43 kilometers an hour on
what have you
every
upgraded?
terrain.
Mine's 44 tons.
44 tons?
Yeah, mine's 44 tons. Do you have the better radio?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go then. Okay.
That's probably why. Anyway, so traverse speed 30 degrees per second. Again, it's not bad for a tier 6 heavy tank. It's
pretty good. Actually.
It's very agile. It's a very agile tank. It can take a beating, but not that much of a beating. If you're in a tier 5 to 6 game in one of these, it will take, you know, maybe 5-6 shots if you're lucky to knock it out or do some serious damage to the point
where...
From that
Doom gun, though, from the Doom gun, it'll take only 2 shots to wipe a KV-1S out. 1 if you're lucky.
Yeah.
You could probably one-shot it if you hit it in a good spot.
If you hit the ammo rack, or if you hit the fuel tank or the engine. But
yeah, generally about 2 shots from the Doom gun. I'm going to refer to it as the Doom gun now. It's not even just going to be the Doom gun. It's just going to be like the Doom gun.
Right. So.
Because it brings that much pain.
Right. Anyway. It is a very powerful gun. I mean, if you look at it, it does do. It
looks devastating.
It does 175, 217, 61 millimeters of penetration, 390, 390, 465. Not that accurate. It could be, it's tier 6. What do you expect?
Could be accurate. It could be more accurate.
It's the rate of fire that sort of gets into sticky situations on this thing. I mean, I suggest the way to play this tank is try and stick with the rest of the pack. Don't pull yourself off, because if you pull yourself off, one KV-1S is fairly vulnerable. I mean, yeah, nobody wants to take a shot in the side from it, but once it's taken that shot, it's got to sit through a really long reload time.
13 seconds, I believe it is. 13 or 15 seconds, I believe, the reload time.
Something like that.
It's a long time.
It is a long time. But you got to sit through that. So fire your shot off. Let's see. Let's say a 3601H comes around the corner. He's got the good gun on it. You put a shot into him. You take him down to maybe 500, 400 health. But then he flanks around the side of you, where your armor is even weaker than it is at the front, but not by much. I mean, what, 15? Yeah, 15, millimeters of armor is the difference between the front and the sides. He'll flank around the back of you, and he'll probably end up circling you and just putting shot after shot into you. So
you don't want that.
You can do damage and you can scare people with this gun, but once you've put that shot off, you are very vulnerable. So it's not. Take your shots carefully. Pick your targets. Don't sort of fire your shots willy-nilly. So, as I probably said before during the video, hull armor is appalling. It's absolutely terrible. Anything could, penetrate this. I mean, maybe even a tier 1. Let's have a look. If it's plausible. If I go to the Leica tractor, which is everyone's favourite light tank, don't want to buy it. That wouldn't be good. Let's see. Average penetration 23.46 millimeters. There's a chance it can do damage. So tier 1 has a chance of doing damage to a KV-1S.
That's pretty bad.
It's not 100%, but if he gets around the back of you and starts putting shots into here or into your tracks, he's going to damage your tracks, definitely. But he can start doing damage to you. It's just terrible hull armor. And news doesn't get too much better with the turret armor either. I mean, it's only 40... Oh, not even 40. What am I on about? Here's where my math falls down. No, it's 25 millimeters difference between the front hull armor and the front turret armor, and only 30 difference between the side and the side of the hull and the side of the turret. So,
like AK was saying, with an appalling, hull and turret armor, and as well, don't forget, it's not exactly the most angular of tanks. It's pretty damn flat, so most shots will penetrate if they hit you. It's going to be pretty rare to get a ricochet. I mean, if you angle your tank perfectly and get lucky, you may ricochet, but it's unlikely. It's most of the time you're just going to take a beating.
You are. It's I don't really know. I wouldn't say it's a front-line tank, because people can't really hide behind you, because if people start hiding behind you, then, okay, fair enough, you've got the protection, but then you get killed. It's more of a sort of bring up the rear or bring around the flank kind of tank. It's definitely a brawling tank, which is pretty much the same thing with all Russian tanks. I mean, with the IS is, not that different from the KV-1S. It's, same height-ish, if you sort of look at it from the side. Sort of use this little notch here as a reference. I mean, it's only a little bit higher. It's still a little bit higher, but other than that, nothing's really changed. And the IS-3, again, is a brawling tank, especially with the fucking BL-9 here, which is just, what, hang on, 225, 265, 68 millimeters of penetration. It's absurd. All the Russian tanks are brawling tanks. Get up close and personal with them. With other tanks, it's definitely not a tank for long range. I mean, especially not with this gun at, you know, 4.46 accuracy. That's shocking. But you can snipe people with this. I've done it before, and I get, you know, cheeky little shots off. And it does work. So, yeah, standard shell damage, 293, 488. Standard shell penetration, 131, 219. Rate of fire, as I said, yeah, it'll let you down sometimes. View range, 330.
You get used to it, though.
It's not a brilliant... It's an average kind of view range. And the signal range... No one gives a fuck about signal range. As I've said in my IS-3 video, signal range is purely just for, you know, or signals and radios, is mostly for artillery and light tanks. Heavy tanks, you know, don't need to see on the other side. They don't need to be able to know, oh, look, there's a, you know, there's a, fucking, what, Leica tractor?
Massive
there's a Leica tractor on the very other side of the map. Good to know.
I don't think if you're in a tier 6, you know,
I'm putting it as an example. Alright, well, what do you... Oh, look, there's an ELC AMX on the other side of the map.
No, there is an IS, because that's most of the time the games you're going to get in.
Right, okay, there's an IS on the other side of the map. How nice. As it just so happens, though, now that I've been distracted by that, there's an IS-3 right in front of me who's about to blow me to Kingdom Come. So, nobody really gives a fuck about signal range. I mean, I've upgraded and bought the best radio purely because I want this thing on Elite, because it racks up XP so fast.
Especially with the Doom gun.
Just be quiet. But there is a downside.
No, let me explain, right? Once you get the Doom gun, you're in good shape. I mean, it took me... How long did it take? It took me, like, 2 weekends of constant play to get the Doom gun with the other gun. Then I get the Doom gun and I play for, like...
D5T.
Yeah. And then I get the Doom gun, and I play for, like, I don't know, half an hour to an hour, and I'm already on, like, I mean, I got, like, you know, 15,000 XP in an hour with the Doom gun. That is a good rate of XP.
It is.
If you're looking at that for a tier 6, if you get this thing to Elite stage, you're in good shape. I mean, this is a beast tank.
Unfortunately, and this is a big unfortunately, when you get this gun, you're getting into big boy territory now. You're not playing with fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards anymore. You know, this is like the high school sort of section for tanks. This is where people lose their sort of big boy tank virginity, because once you get this gun, yeah, you do all this great stuff, and you know, if and when you hit them, it's good. You earn a lot of money and you earn a lot of XP. The downside to this...
Shells cost a hell of a lot, though. 1,025
credits per shot. So you don't... It's why it's absolutely crucial to make sure that you know you're going to hit the target, because nobody likes wasting 1,025 credits.
I mean, when I shoot that gun, I have to pick my shots, because I'm a bit tight on cash anyway. I mean, I've got, what, 261,000, which may seem a lot to some people, but it really isn't. And when it's 1,000 a shell, and if you shoot 10 shells, let's say, for example, I mean, you can get 26 altogether. Let's say you shoot 10 shells. That comes to about, 11,000 credits altogether. Give or take. And
also,
with repairs as well.
You're
going to go into minuses.
To be honest, let me put this into context. With your KV-1S, you will go into minuses occasionally. As you move up to the tree to the IS, you will, start seeing, oh, I'm getting into minuses a bit more. This is, try and play a little bit better. IS-3, when you get to tier 8, that's when shit starts getting serious. To be honest, shit starts getting serious at the KV-1S at tier 6. It's all well and good from tier 1 to tier 5, because, everyone's pretty newbie, everyone's, just sort of running around in tanks, they don't really know how to play, and I'm not saying it's their fault, it's just, they're new.
They're straight to the middle and die.
They're new, they can't help it, but when you get to the KV-1S, and it costs so much to, with ammunition and repairs, and...
I mean, to repair the tank, if you get blown up, to repair the tank is 4,000, I think it's 4,500 to be exact.
With the
it's
IS-3,
ridiculous.
With the IS-3, putting this into context. With the IS-3, if you get blown up in this thing, you're gonna pay for it, because it's 11,000 credits for a repair on this thing. you know, along with, you know, that like Ben said earlier, that's repairing this thing is as much as resupplying 10 shells for this thing here. So, you know, you really, this is when you've really got to, you know, sort of think to yourself, pull my thumb out, gotta start learning how to play World of Tanks properly. And this is the tank that did it for me. Before that, I was getting blown up left, right, and centre, and I generally stuck to arties because it was the only thing I was good at playing. But you get to if you get the KV-1S, this is where you will learn how to play World of Tanks, because you will realise, oh crap, I'm getting shot from the side. Oh crap, people flanking me from the left. Let's try and not be outflanked. Try and go cover that side. Oh crap, this is happening. Oh crap, that's happening. Left, right, and centre. When you've got this little armour, this really makes you, you know, want to stay alive, especially with the repair costs and the ammunition costs. So, you know, you really want to learn how to play. You want to
pick your shots as well, because like AK said earlier, the gun isn't that accurate. So, you know, if you don't pick your shots and you just take shots willy-nilly, if you can only see like half the tank or something, you know, yeah, take the odd pot shot. You know, you might get lucky, but most of the time, if you're tight on cash or you don't want to be wasting like 4,000 credits getting this thing repaired, you know, you definitely want to pick your shots carefully, otherwise you're going to be wasting a lot of money. Yeah. We're not trying to put you off this tank, but, you know,
with all tanks, there's positives and negatives. Now, Ben, you're going to go through the different equipment. I've, you know, run through the gun and the turret as it is. But you can run through some of the other stuff. Just sort of give them a general insight into how it works. And then Ben's going to run over some of the aesthetic features with you, such as how the tank is angled, how the tank is shaped, how you would generally use this tank to your advantage, and if you're a lower tank, where the weak spots are, because everyone likes weak spots. Everyone loves shooting at weak spots because, you know, if you're a tier 4 tank and you know, start doing 100 and something damage to a tier 6, it's a good feeling. So, Ben, I'm going to leave you with that whilst I quickly go get myself a drink.
Okay, well, all I've got on at the moment is the camouflage net because, to be honest, I don't have enough money to buy anything else. I mean, you can get like improved ventilation class 3. They're all like 500,000-600,000 each, so they're pretty expensive. So you can get the improved ventilation class 3 to start off with. That's plus 5% to all crew skills. So if you've got your crew to 100%, you can have 105%. You can have a bit of a faster reload time and stuff. But yeah, so you know what the crew does. So and then there's also the wet ammo rack, which is plus 50% to the ammo rack durability, so you're less likely to get destroyed. And there's also the toolbox, which is plus 25% to the repair speed. So, you know, you can repair a bit faster. I think I might save up for the toolbox because even though I do have repair kits, it repairs pretty slow. If you get a track knocked off, you don't want to be sat around for a long time. You want to, you know, get your track back up and running and get out of the way. I think AK can agree on that if he's there yet.
Yeah, definitely. As with every single tank, I suggest getting a small first aid kit, small repair kit, and a manual fire extinguisher, and make sure that the small repair kit is in between the small first aid kit and the fire extinguisher, because if you get your track knocked off, all you have to do is double press 5. And it'll repair the thing, because basically when you use items, you press the number of the item that you want to use, and then it comes up with a small sub-menu and shows you the thing that you want to do. So let's say your gun is knocked out and he's number 2, you would press 4 and then 2 to, first of all, select the repair kit, then
first aid kit.
The first repair him.
Come here, bitch.
Just gonna insert this cog into your ass. So then all you have to do is press 4 and then 2, and that would heal your thingy. But if you've got the small repair kit in between the 2, then you press 5 to open up the menu, then 5 again to repair the tracks. So if you're in a sticky situation, you don't have to fiddle around sort of pressing, right, let's see, 6, and then 9. It's just a case of, oh shit, track's been blown off, artillery on the other team, people are going to be shooting at me, double press 5, reverse. Done. So it's simple as that. Now I'll let Ben continue, because, yeah.
Okay, so we've also got the large caliber tank gun rammer, which is definitely recommended. It's plus 10% to reload time, however it is complex equipment. So unless you've got 10 gold, you know, you might have to buy it for every tank. It does cost 500,000, so it's not exactly cheap. But yeah, it's definitely recommended. This gun does reload pretty slow. Then there's the large spal spinner, which is...
Large spal spinner!
Oh no, I'm reading it. What the hell am I reading?
Large spall liner.
Yeah, I have no idea what the hell I'm
Large
reading.
spall spinner.
I have, I have no idea
God.
what I'm reading. Plus 15% to armor protection, you know. Plus 50 from ramming and explosions. Most of the time you're not going to get rammed by any other tank in this tank, because you're either going to die by the gun or you're just going to, well, you're going to be dead anyway. So there's also fill tanks with CO2.
You're not in top form today, are you, Ben?
CO2, which is plus 50% to the tank durability of the fuel tank. So, you know, the fuel tank, it's not that likely to get blown up on the KV-1S. However, saying that, I have been set on fire quite a lot recently. But yeah, saying that, you know, it's a waste of money, 500,000, because, you know, getting set on fire is pretty rare. So there's also the enhanced tourism bar plus
torsion bars. Oh my god. Tourism bar. Ben, you're set one English. Good lord. Tourism bars. Oh my god.
Oh god, I've got something wrong today. I cannot.
There's something wrong with you. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's plus 10% to the suspension. So if you have a tank and it's, you know, you've got too much stuff on it, you might want to put that on. You know, the tourism bar. Anyway.
It also helps with it sort of lessens the chance of your tracks getting knocked off. So if
you go a bit quicker, but I can't say I've ever used it. So
I don't think you go any quicker. I think it's just a case of they're not going to come off as easily, and you can put more things on them. So
there's also the enhanced gun lane drive, which is 10% to aiming speed. It's pretty simple, but it's complex equipment, so it's going to cost you 10 gold to demount. There's the cyclone filter, which is plus 50% to the engine durability. However, again, you know, it's not often that your engine gets destroyed. Coated optics, 10% to view range. Well, you know, the view range is pretty bad, and like AK was saying earlier, it doesn't really matter. So then there's also the binocular telescope, which is plus 25% view range. So, you know, the coated optics is 10% to view range, the binocular telescope's 25%. They cost the same.
But with the binocular telescope you have to be still, and it's not fucking complex equipment. So when you're playing this tank you won't be stood still for the majority of the time. So basically, I'm just gonna
the coated optics or the binocular telescope. Go with the binocular telescope. No, with the go with the coated optics.
If you want to. To be honest, what I would recommend, I don't have them yet because I just haven't got around to buying them, and I think they're fairly expensive. With a 3.75 no, that's rate of fire. My bad. Where's my aiming time? You know, with a 3.4 aiming time, that's quite a lot while. And basically, if you don't know what aiming time is, it's the time it takes before your reticle starts to shrink. So if you're driving and you're, you know, messing around with your turret for whatever reason, and you come to a stop, it will take 3.4 seconds for your gunner to sort of pull his thumb out of his ass and say, all right, shit, let's start, you know, aiming properly. So it'll take 3.4 seconds to aim. So an enhanced gun lane drive will help with that. So I'd probably, you know, it depends what your preference is. If you're sort of the actual heavy tank driver that sort of thinks to himself, right, I'm going to play this like a heavy tank, and not the KV-1S driver which thinks to himself, right, this tank is made for absolutely blowing the arse out of people, so I'm going to play it like it's meant to be played, then this isn't really relevant. I don't think it's on here. No, it's not. I was going to say vertical stabilizers, but they don't really help. Definitely get yourself a large caliber tank gun rammer because it will help with the reload time.
There's the camouflage net, but everyone knows what the camouflage net does, so I'm not going to.
It's pretty useless, and again, you're not going to be.
I've got the camouflage net on, but
really,
only because I got it from my KV-1. Because from the KV-1, you're stood still a lot more in the KV-1.
Definitely.
So I just thought, well, you know what? If I ever am stuck still, it's 25% less chance of being spotted. So.
Now, improved ventilation 3 class. At first I thought this was a complete pile of crap and it was completely useless. I didn't know why it cost so much. I now understand why, because basically what it does is it basically means that if, let's say, you know, your commander or your gunner, for instance, he's got, you know, snapshot on. If you put improved ventilation class, it'll add 5% to that. And I think one of my crews has something. I think it might have been Brothers in Arms somewhere.
Anyway.
I don't even know. Oh no.
So we've gone through that.
Skills. For skills.
I can't. I've got no input in this because my crew are not 100%.
I didn't. This is the first tank that I've actually got. You know, crew to 100%. I mean, I played this for a solid day and got myself to the IS, so I bloody hope so. I got the fucking 100% crew. I didn't really know what was good and what was bad. I stupidly put Sixth Sense on, which for some reason doesn't pop up when I've been spotted. Don't know why. It doesn't really matter because I'm not. And again, you're not going to be stood still for that long. If I was going to recommend a skill, it would either be Jack of all trades, because despite the fact that, yeah, you're not going to be set on fire, and yeah, you're not going to get you're going to get your tracks blown off, and most modules aren't going to get destroyed, you're going to get your crew killed quite a lot, because, like I said, 75mm of frontal armor, 60 at the side, 60 at the rear. It's going to take... Your crew will be killed. So Jack of all trades with the commander is a good thing. Alternatively, if you wanted to, go with repairs, firefighting, or Brothers in Arms. And Brothers in Arms basically does what the improved ventilation does, but basically means that it's going to increase their actual skill on the tank. So this, disregard this for a second, it increases this, which means that that'll go up to, if I'm correct, 10%? I think it's 10%. I don't even know. I think it's an extra 10%. So this guy's going to get an extra 10%. So it's going to be 110, 110, 110, 110, 110. And it's going to add an extra 10% onto this. So that's going to be 92, 92, 92, 92, 92. And once these reach 100%, these skills, that's going to be 110% of skills, plus the improved ventilation, 115% to skills. And repairs, accelerates repairs to damaged modules, and enhances firefighting abilities, means they can put out the fire a lot quicker. So, those are your options. With this tank, you're going to be doing a lot of drive-by shooting, surprisingly enough. It says heavy tank on the tin, but really it's a light tank with a big gun.
Well, I'd say more medium tank with a big gun.
Well, hang on. If you're going to say that, then let's compare it to the 360-1H. So, hull armor 75, 60, 60. 360-1H, 100, 60, 60. So, yeah, you're kind of right in that respect. But the turret armor is 180, 80. So, you know, it's tier 6 medium tank has got better armor than a tier 6 heavy tank, but it doesn't really matter. It says heavy tank, take your word for it, but it's really a light tank with a big gun, or, you know, medium tank with a big gun. Either way, you're going to be shooting on the move quite a lot, despite what people might say. I seem to have a lot of luck with my shots, so I naturally have put on a snapshot, which basically it basically just means that if you think about it, when you're moving your turret, the reticle becomes bigger. With snapshot on, it means that it's going to retain its accuracy a lot more. So instead of, I don't know, increasing by 100%, it'll only increase by 50% or 10%. So it'll keep you more accurate whilst your turret is moving, which helps while shooting on the move. You could have armourer. Deadeye, designated target is pretty useless, to be perfectly honest. You don't need it as of such. For the driver, what you might want to go for is, let me have a look, smooth ride. Basically, again, increases accuracy while shooting on the move, which helps with the drive-by shooting, of course. Radio operator, again, like I said, this is the first crew that I got to 100%, so situational awareness just increases the view range. Again, don't really need the extra view range, but it's nice to have, I suppose. And then, with the gunner, I have Adrenaline Rush, which basically means if it drops below 10% health, it's gonna, you know, he's gonna load a lot faster. Sad truth is, though, is you're not gonna see 10% a lot, because you're gonna be facing off against other tier 6s, which...
You're gonna die.
It's either gonna take you down to 200 health and then kill you, or you're gonna be lucky, get down to 10 health, and then somebody else is gonna kill you. So yeah. So that just about wraps up for the theory part of this in the garage. Unfortunately, me and Ben we haven't played much. He's only just got this Doom gun here, so
Doom gun.
You know, this 122mm D-2-5T. believe. D-2-5T. Yep. He's only just got that, so we haven't played a lot of games with it, but we had one very good game on Dragon's Ridge, and that's the game we're about to show you. Very good team play. It's going to be guest starring one of my friends called Devio here, which he's actually online. I didn't realise that. He's in his M37, and we're both in KV-1Ss. No, he's in his M7 Priest even. Spoiler alert, we become the last 3 people on the game, versus 2 tier 7 heavy tanks, and I think that's it. 2 tier 7 heavy tanks.
Yeah, 2
so
tier 7
yeah, so we're gonna
an IS and a
ARL M445, I think. Anyway, we'll see on the video. So gonna cut the video here, and we'll be right back. Right, and we're back. So this is me and Moggy Ben and Cool Devio on Dragon Ridge. He's in his M7 Priest. I don't seem to be getting any volume from Thingy.
Through.
No, you do. You definitely do.
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't really know why it's doing that. Oh, there we are. There's the sound. Sound's come back. Or it did do.
I've still got no sound, but oh yeah, I do.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
I do.
Wait a second. Just gonna get rid of some stuff because I'm getting very bad frames per second, which is fairly funny considering I'm not actually on the game itself. But Fraps has given me some bad frames per second. It's saying no, that's wrong. Oh, that's a lot better. 20 frames per second. Much better. That's what I want to see. Oh, there we go. There's the sound. Sound returned. So yeah, so this was a good game. We're tier 6. Cool
As you can
Devios.
see, we are the
Underdogs. We are, you know, least likely
but
to do...
we have the Doom gun.
We are least likely to do good or well in this game. But we
And
very
we
wrong.
both hate Dragon Ridge. This is a map that we both dislike.
I don't dislike it, but I don't
Well,
like
I
it.
freaking hate it.
I don't dislike it, especially when I'm playing with artillery, because it's so hilly and you know you can't shoot through solid fucking rock, so it's not good on that sort of part. But so yeah, so me and Ben, I say to Ben, right, we're going to be sneaky here. We're going to go around the side. We're not going to go head on to the thick of it, because we're going to get ourselves killed. So Cool Devio, he gets arsed up onto the hill and starts, you know, playing how an artillery would play. Whilst me and Ben sneak around the side here, and you know, like we said before, we're the underdogs in this game, very bottom. You know, our whole platoon is at the very bottom of the list, and it's a very, very tier 7 game.
Wait, from us upwards is tier 7.
You know, they have a tier. There's an unlucky tosser who's in a tier 5, but you know, he paired up with a tier 4 arty, and you got to expect that because artillery will get into high tier games.
I believe this is the area where we just removed that guy.
Yes, we're pulling up. So basically, this is, if you heard me talking about double teaming Type 34 or something, or
there
Type
he is.
43, this is the guy that we're talking about. So he's just up on this hill. There he is, right there. But there is a guy. I think he's a German tank. I can't remember what it was. We do a massive amount of damage to him. Well, we just remove him.
Was it? No, it must have been.
It was his. There is. It's that Jerry guy. Or he's in his. Hang on, if I could just go. In a VK200 2D, and then here we are, 711.
That was both
damage.
of us together, and the 122 was Cool Devio.
Yes. And we're about to fire. Oh no, we're not. We're just gonna move up again.
No, because we were moving up, but then I saw that guy and started to retreat down the hill.
Yeah, and that's 182, and then 711 total. 772 even! That was both me and Ben firing at once. It's a tier 7 tank. You know, 2 KV-1Ss are more than capable of taking out a tier 7 tank, and I apologise for the bad frames. I don't know why that guy ricocheted, was lucky, and some guy hit my fuel tank and my track, so 225-2, and this is when I think to myself, you know what, I'm not going to take another hit from him. So retreat behind here, I take another shot from the front, you know, 250 damage. Oh no, he doesn't actually do any damage, my bad. And it's yeah, T43. So it's at this point that I decide, you know what, I'm going to side scrape here, see if I can troll him a little bit. It's probably the best chance I have of ricocheting or getting a non-penetration from that guy, because I'm not too keen on getting killed at this point. I've done quite well so far, I reckon. So yeah, and we didn't have a bad team. I mean, if you look when me and Ben, and there you go, side scraping. That's what it does. they can only shoot your track, and your track's not going to do any damage. You'll take damage to your track, and it'll get blown off, but, you know, you're not... using this tactic is very effective, especially on tanks with weak frontal armor. Like I said in my IS video, it's very effective, and at this point I can't even see the guy, but he's shooting at me, and he's getting very frustrated because he can't do any damage. I try and take a cheeky little shot at this guy, but it misses, or it ricochets, or it doesn't penetrate. I'm trying to evaluate the situation, see if I can actually get a shot off at him. Oh, and he disappeared. If we...
Let's roll.
And my track's back up. And I miss, as you might have expected. If I just quickly go into free cam here, Ben retreated down the hill over there, because he didn't want to get shot by that T-43, which is understandable.
I was planning on trying to sneak round on him, but
I think Ben takes another hit, but I'm not sure.
I think that was Cool Devio.
I think it was Cool Devio. And I take 119 from the side. It was probably artillery, to be perfectly honest. Now, although this thing doesn't have brilliant frontal armor, you know, best scenario, you got to keep your frontal armor faced towards them if you have to. Angle and do that, but yeah, it was that AMX 105. You know, took 119 off me. So now I'm sort of thinking to myself, right, let's wrap this up. So like I was saying, we didn't have a bad team. If you look at the scores afterwards, when the game is near enough finished, if you look at the scores afterwards, our team is all right. I mean, you know, it's fairly spread out. I mean, they all died, but at the end of the day, we played a good game. And this is where me and Ben decided to advance. We both push up on this flank and try and take out this T-43. So yeah.
And you pause in a bush.
I paused in a bush for for whatever reason. So this is where we double team him. He doesn't have a terribly large amount of health. I don't know what I'm doing there. I'm just sort of analysing my surroundings. Again, if you haven't already watched my IS-3 videos, I can't stress this enough. You've got to pick your targets. Don't go for the one that's the easier kill. Go for the one that's going to kill you first, because he's going to kill you first. Fair enough, you've got a kill, but at the end of the day, it's the damage that you do that matters. Spread your damage out and pick your targets. Also,
if you go for the easy kills, you know, you get that one next to your name and you're like, yeah, you know, got a kill, but you don't get as much XP or credit as if you'd shot the higher tier, because I don't know how the XP works on this game, but I know for certain that if you shoot a tier 7, you're going to get more XP than if you shoot a tier 5.
Yeah, and to be honest, a perfect example of it is, you know, in my IS-3 game, in that last IS-3 game that I showed you before we wrapped up the video. Basically, there was an E75 tier 9 heavy. I did kill him, but that's because everybody was, you know, clusterfucking around him, so it was fine. You know, he was like the last guy on their team that was gonna do anything. And I put a cheeky shot into him. I only did 61 damage. I wouldn't have gotten a lot of XP for that. The majority of the XP is going to come from the damage that you do, not from the people that you kill. You know, fair enough, you can kill, you know, 700 people. You could kill 6 people in the game, but if you kill them with 1 shot each, and, you know, you only do 10 damage to them, then... And I set him on fire. And this is where Ben... oh, actually no. I think I get the kill.
I think you remove him.
I think I get the kill, but Ben knocked his track off, which gave me the advantage to kill him. So let's take this as an example. I got if I had left him alone and he was already on 50 health and I had killed him, yeah, fair enough, got a kill. But it's 50 damage. The rest of you're only going to get maybe 10 XP. Or maybe no, you might only get 100, 200 XP from that, you know, 50 damage that you did to him. But it's not a lot. It's just simply not a lot. If you get no kills at all in a game, and it's no kills whatsoever, but you do about 5,000 damage, and you know it's possible. I've come close to it. I've done 3,000 damage in a game. It's not impossible.
Is that by any chance with that tier 10 tank destroyer from the English tier in the...
No. It was in my AMX 105 AM. I used all my shells in that game.
I was going to say, if you'd used the Doom tank,
No, that's just absurd. If you ever already played the test server, you'll usually know which tank we're talking about, the FVB 182 or 183 or something.
No, it's the 182.
It's got this absurd cannon that does an average damage roll of like 2,000 damage if you use premium ammo. It's mental. Right, so as I said at the beginning of the game, like I promised, we're the last people, and we're the platoon. Everybody else, all the tier 7s died. And the tier 6s, the underdogs, the people who are least likely to do anything or get a good score in the game, are the only people that are left, and we do win the game. I end up killing the M445.
And AK is just kind of like waiting around here in this village area because I'm retreating back.
Yeah, somebody said in chat, one KV-1S go back and defend the base. And it was a very good thing that Ben did, because an IS sneaks up round through the base. Well, I think it just cut straight through the town over here, to be honest. It's cut straight through there, and Ben actually takes him out. Now I wish I had.
It took me 3 shots to take him out.
I wish I had the perspective.
He was a retard, and he didn't turn around and realise that I was the bigger threat, and he went for Cool Devio because he wanted the kill. But
and
he didn't get the kill of either of us.
So not only did he make a retarded move, you know, he died. He didn't get the kill, and he died.
So it just proves to you, take out the guy who's the bigger threat. He could have one-shot me quite easily. I was only on like, 54% health, which for a KV-1S is only about 400, 450 health, which is pretty bad. So he could have one-shotted me.
Yeah.
But no, he went for the kill, and he didn't get it.
Unfortunately, at this point, Ben didn't have battle recording enabled. It's not his fault. He thought he did. But
I swear I did, but I didn't.
But it didn't, unfortunately. So I really wish I could show you Ben's perspective here. But it's around this time where Ben drops off the minimap because the signal range isn't, stellar. But it doesn't matter. I don't need to see what was going on over at the base. What I'm focused on is capping the base or potentially taking out the M445. So yeah, and Ben goes back, takes out the IS. I go for the base.
There, I dropped off the radar a few seconds ago.
Yep, he did. Cool. Now, Cool Devio said that he spotted somebody in the woods, so I sort of, play a bit cautiously, try and stay as far away from the woods as possible. So I try and stay as far away from it as possible, and move in to cap the base. So I pull up behind this dead T-29 who was trying to cap the base, and it's things like this. If I had just gone straight into the middle of the cap circle and just sat there, I would have most likely died. But I didn't. I made a good decision to go sit behind that T-29.
And there's the IS.
And there he is. He put up on the minimap. So I made the decision to go sit behind the T-29, which provides me cover. I think I take damage. I can't remember. Either that or it just ricochets off me. But I do kill the M445. He realises, oh, well, crap, the base
and you'll be able to tell if you look, the IS will soon drop off. And there he is. So he's at the base and he's going for Cool Devio. As you can tell, he's driving slowly towards him. And if you can see the track on the right of him, I was set up on that hill there, taking shots at him. So he's dropped off the minimap, but Cool Devio was kind of running away from him.
As you would do. Artillery has to sort of run away in those
So I was sat in about, A8 or E8, AB8, kind of in that area. If you have a look, you can see I was sat on that mountain, and
there's the M445.
You shall soon see that I think I killed the IS before.
Knocking down to 310 health. He puts 228 into me, so we're sort of even ground here at the moment. And it's at this point I think, you know what, screw it. If I stay in the position I was in before,
so there we go. There's the IS dead. I think.
He's about to die. There he is.
There we go.
Yeah, he's dead. So it's at this point that I think, you know what, screw capping the circle. If I stay where I was, yeah, fair enough, I'm behind the T-29, but he's in a position where he can shoot me even though I'm behind. So I move a bit further back. He misses that shot. I miss my shot. But at this point, I sort of tell Ben, right, Ben, try and sneak up behind him. And it's
I think I was already moving by this point.
At this point I say, Ben, sneak up behind him, and it's literally as my gun reloads. You'll see in a second. Any second now. When he pops back around the corner, I say, Ben, move up behind him and try and kill him. Okay? And when he gets respotted, I just sort of say, you know, never mind. So there he is. Ben, move up behind him. Actually, wait a second, never mind. and he got killed. So that was a really good game from us, I think. We, you know, well played. Last surviving platoon, underdogs of the game. So we're going to cut the video here. So, to summarise, the KV-1S, absolutely brilliant for, you know, preying on the emotionally frail. It decimates things.
It destroys things, you know, with the doom gun.
On the flip side of that, things cut through it like a hot knife through butter. So, would you stop with the doom gun?
I'm gonna die.
Yeah. So, things can slice straight through it like a hot knife through butter. Fast little gimp of a tank. It's just a brawling tank. But what?
The doom gun destroys people. Even though people penetrate it like a bitch. Yeah. They penetrate it like the prostitute. It destroys stuff.
Slow clap. Right. So yeah, just to summarise, again, just an all-round deadly tank at tier 6.
Deadly.
You know, this is the tank to, you know, get your friggin' virginity lost for high-tier games. So, that was KV-1S. Also, I apologise if the audio cut out. I apologise if the audio cut out on the last clip. I think when I pressed OK, I think it cut off the Fraps recording as well, and also the voice recording. So, I apologise for that. So, this has been mankxbox with a World of Tanks tank review on the KV-1S Tier 6 Heavy Tank. From me, Alex.
Me, Ben.
We bid you farewell.